Welcome back to the Sports Syllabus Show, guys. As you can tell, I'm not with Luke Young. Who am I with?
I'm Jamie Phillips.
And what do you do at Bradley?
I'm in the track team here. I'm a freshman currently,
Hmm.
running the 800 meters and the mile and the 1500 meters.
Yep. So I like to start my shows with questions from my mom. I have my mom call in and ask some questions. So I'll play the audio, and then you can let us know. There's two questions, so just let us know.
If you could switch places with any athlete for one day, who would it be and why? And what would you do with their skills?
Is that at Bradley University?
Overall, in general, Olympic athletes, a basket, whatever you believe in.
I would like to switch places with. I think it'd be kind of cool switching places with like a professional boxer. Just like
Yeah,
kind of completely different sport, trying something. I just run every day, but a boxer does loads of different things. So
exactly. They
it'd
also
be,
do run. They have to have
yeah,
great
so they have
cardio.
some good running, but they get a mix of everything. So it'd be cool to live their life for a day.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so here's the second question. It's not as serious.
And my next question is, what is your favorite meal to eat when you go home to visit family and friends?
From being Scottish, it has to be a full Scottish breakfast.
He's in one of my classes. You brought that up in the other class. What is a full Scottish breakfast for the people that don't know?
So it consists of it with a big plate, usually with a cup of tea, and it'll come with haggis, black pudding, square sausage, beans, toast, tomatoes. It's just a big plate with a lot of food.
What is a black pudding for people
If
that don't
I'm
know?
right, it's dried pig's blood. Um,
Oh, that's good.
it does not sound very good, but you'd be shocked.
Yeah, because I'm just when you said that, I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound too good. But I mean, if you're messing up, I'm not a picky eater. I'll try it if I.
Personally, I would rather have that than biscuits and gravy. So
That's fair. I don't like biscuits and gravy. A lot of people around here do, but um I do not. I don't. I've just never indulged in it. Um, but I gotta ask. Well, you already said where you're from and what events you do, but what's your favorite out of the events that you run?
personally, it's definitely 800 meters. I'm still kind of new to this event. Just last season there was my first year focusing on 800, but yeah, definitely the 800 is where I'm staying right now.
And then you said you run the mile as well. Is that kind of something you've ran your whole life or whole running career?
Yeah, well, since I started when I was 7, but when I started racing track events, it was always racing the 1500 meters. Back home, we do the 1500s,
Uh-huh.
which is equivalent to just like 100 meters less than a mile.
Yeah.
But I was always
So
doing that.
you always have been running kind of longer distance stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then what was it like? You said you ran the 800 meter. You just you set the program record this year. What was that like? And yeah, how was that? How did that feel? Did you actually? I'll ask that one next. But how did it feel? Yeah.
Yep, coming into Bradley, I obviously was aware of the school records, and now coming into my first indoor season, I knew I would have a good chance of hitting that record. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the first attempt or if it would take me a few, but I managed to do my first 800 out here, and also managed to get the Bradley school record, which was a
That was your
bonus.
first 800 for Bradley?
Yeah, correct.
Wow, that's impressive. What do you like more, indoor or outdoor track?
I'm new to the indoor system out here. I was never really familiar with a lot of indoor races. It's This season's been a lot of every week, every weekend we're on the road,
Hmm.
different competitions. We were just at Notre Dame there. The week before we were at Boston.
Yeah,
The week before Iowa State. So it's a lot of
a lot of
back to
traveling.
back
Yeah.
racing and fatigue on the body. But I just still do prefer the outdoor season. And
Yeah. Also, I mean, just in general, like being outside more is more
yeah,
enjoyable than
yes, indoor
just,
tracks are very dry air. Like
yeah.
it's not as
I've heard it also, like, because I had some track buddies in high school, that it's also kind of rough, like, not the best for your legs sometimes every once in a while, right?
yeah. It's this definitely just outdoor track is just everyone like a majority like it better and it's probably a little bit better on the body, not as taxing.
And then we talked about the one record uh you set. Was that kind of your goal coming into Bradley? Did you want to set records coming here?
Yeah, definitely. Last summer I managed to get the the under-20 Scottish
Saw
records,
that, yeah.
which stood for a while. So I sat that time, and after having a good look at the Bradley records, I was like, right, I'll try and get a few of them. We've got Jack Kroll, who's just set the mile record.
Yeah, I saw that. What,
He's
351 or something?
3:55, I
That's
want to say, for the
that's
mile. So
crazy.
he's set the bar very high for that event.
Mhm.
But I would like to keep chipping away and get the 800-meter just on par with Jack.
Yeah. I mean, 355 is like crazy fast.
Yeah.
And then what other records do you hope to break? You know, you said that your other competitions and stuff that are races that you run. What other records do you hope to break when you're here?
So hopefully this is the indoor season just coming to a finish, and the outdoor season just starting, well, probably late March, early April.
Hmm.
But I would like to go in and like to try and get the outdoor record as well for the 800s. We've got a lot of good guys on the team, so it's not just me looking for the records. There's
Yeah, it's everyone, yeah.
at least 5 of us trying to get the exact same record, so it's not going to be easy, but
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know that there was. I thought the records like were the same for both indoor and outdoor. Do you usually, and like, I don't. I mean, you don't know for like the whole community of track runners, but do you run better indoor or outdoor? Would you say?
typically outdoor times are faster.
Okay.
I think it's given the time of the year, people are just more prepared to run fast outdoors, and they say the 400 meters faster than the 200 bank track.
Yeah.
I was shocked that I actually ran that fast indoors. I was not really thinking I was going to go and run a 148, but America do seem to set up the races, and everyone's in one race, and you may not be thinking you can run fast, but because everyone's running fast, you have to run fast.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be one of my questions down the line, kind of the competition here. But what you're from Scotland. That's all the way across the world. What drew you to Peoria, Illinois?
Yeah, the recruiting kind of system is definitely the easiest for international. A lot of coaches texting you, you send a lot of emails, you're just getting bombarded with a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
But kind of looking into it more and more, and some coaches you obviously can tell they're just lying straight to your face. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to talk to these guys again.
Uh-huh.
And then Andrew, the coach out here, was everything he said seemed legit, and he was straightforward, simple stuff, no secrets. He just gave everything there, and he says if you want it, you can come. If not, there's other guys that want it. So
Yeah.
I like the way he went about it, and we have a good group here. A lot of fast guys.
Uh-huh.
Like Jack's one of the best athletes, like one of the best guys in NCAA. You can't.
Yeah.
There's not many guys faster than him, so that was a big selling point for coming to Bradley, and a lot of other guys from Canada and Americans.
Yeah.
And
South Africa.
South Africa as well. So there's a lot of fast internationals from everywhere.
Yeah, because like I didn't know this coming here, but Bradley, when I got here, I found out really quickly that their track is they're a really good track team, right?
Yeah.
For especially for a school our size, right? We're a pretty good track team.
Yeah, I think people would be shocked. I'm not sure if many of the students at Bradley know, because
It's
we're
such a
ranked.
small course.
People probably think, oh, the track team, they're probably not that great, but
Mhm.
we've actually done well for ourselves. Got ranked 15th in the NCAA
Oh, wow.
for the 800 meters, like as a team average.
Uh-huh.
So when you look at it, there's only 14 schools that are better than us, and you look at the list, it's like Oregon, OSU, all these
Yeah. I was
big
gonna.
schools at
My
the.
girlfriend goes to Oregon. What do you think of? Have you ran it the track there?
Never ran there, but nationals will be held there for the next 4 years. So all my NCAA eligibility, if I make nationals at least once, I'll get to run in Oregon.
Yeah, because I've heard that's one of like the best, right, like courses in the world, right? Or just
If you're a track athlete in NCAA, usually Oregon's the place you want to be.
okay, all right, yeah. Because I was gonna ask, is that kind of on your butt? Like I kind of asked my mom asked the first question, is that kind of one of like your goal destinations? As like for some basketball guys, their goal destination to play is at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Is running at Eugene probably one of your goals?
Yeah, my 4 years at Bradley, I want to be at Eugene at least once. I want
Yeah.
to do 800 meters there.
Yeah, that'll be sick. And then what is, we kind of talked about, you said the track indoor is kind of coming a little bit to the end, but how has it been, the season been so far? And then what are you looking forward to in the outdoor season?
So indoors has been good. I set at indoor 800 PR and indoor for the 800 and the mile. Last week there in Notre Dame we did an indoor DMR. It didn't go as exactly the way we're looking for, but that's just how running goes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
And it's extra hard running as a 4-man relay leg. So if one
Mhm.
guy has a bad race, you're not quite setting the team up for a good
Yeah.
day. But
Like I swam in high school, so I kind of know what you mean. But like swimming, you could feel amazing in warm-ups and stuff like that, and then you get in the pool and you swim, and it's just you're not feeling it. That could be the same thing with running. Running's very similar
exactly.
with where you can feel amazing going into it, and then something like on a relay, a dude does bad. Now, yeah, that's not the end of the world, but milliseconds are huge
Makes
in
everything so
these
much harder.
sports. Yeah, so like you could be behind by 0.5 milliseconds, and that's a lot. So, my next question is, what is a normal day of training look like for you?
So given today we were up at 5:10, the alarm was set, so early morning, quick shower, and then run to Renko, get into the vans, and we head to the indoor dome
Uh-huh.
to start our workout around 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
This morning we had a fast speed workout, like fast 400s, fast 200s. And then that was after the workout. And then this afternoon I'll do a little jog and then get into the recovery tubs, hot cold, and try and get the body recovered. And tomorrow we'll have a little easy day. We'll cover about 7 to 10 miles, sometimes spread between 2 runs in the morning, one in the afternoon, or just one run in the morning with lift as well. Wednesday, another easy run, just having miles on the legs. And Thursday we'll do another hard workout either on the track if it was the summer or the weather was nice. But
Mm.
right out in Peoria it's pretty cold, so
Yeah.
we're inside in the dome, and we'll have a this Thursday we'll have a shorter workout just because we've got the big conference this weekend. So
Oh yeah.
that's the biggest event for the indoor season. So we're
Mhm.
making sure all the team feel nice and trying to score as many points as we can this weekend. But given a normal week, we'll have a normal Thursday hard workout.
Yeah.
Friday, another general easy jog with a Saturday, a long run. Typically, I'll do between 10 to 12 miles, but we've got guys on the team going up to 16
That's
miles.
crazy. What are you doing in general, like for a week, would you say? How many miles, like guesstimating, would you
Yeah.
say you run?
A week, a good week could be 50 miles.
Jeez.
It can even range up to 55 or 45, but a 50-mile week is a happy week.
So I'm assuming you have a pretty good, because I get blisters and stuff. But since you run so much, I'm pretty sure you have a good sense of what a good shoe is.
Yeah.
So what are your go-to shoes to run in?
Yeah, I've definitely had plenty of blisters in my day, but
Yeah.
um, right now I'm with New Balance. A big soft cushion shoe for my easy stuff.
Yeah.
School sponsored by Under Armour, so I'm
Yeah.
wearing a lot of their stuff. The Under Armour Velocity Elites, I want to say they're called, for the dome workouts, the faster stuff. And I've recently been racing in Adidas Ambitions for my track stuff.
Uh-huh.
They're good, and I've also the Under Armour spikes, which are also a pretty good shoe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had some buddies in high school who said Hoka's. What was your opinion on Hoka's? I know they're really expensive, but
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think they're relatively
Ho-
good running shoes?
Hoka's are definitely good. I've had a few pairs, and they've got loads of different models, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of good athletes will wear Hoka. It's all down to personal preference.
That's what it
Some
usually
people
is.
like the color, I'll buy them. Or some people like the way they feel, but it's all personal preference. There's
Yeah.
guys in the team that will wear 10 guys because I have 10 different shoes. There's not one shoe fits all.
Yeah. And then have you obviously you said you came to Bradley because you liked what the coach was pitching you. When you came here, have you reached the goals that you kind of set for yourself?
And no, not at all. We're just getting started. So this summer will be the big that's when it matters.
Okay.
Going for big times like the European Games for under 23s is this summer, which has got a high bar. So hopefully try and get near to that. Also regionals and NCAA's is this summer, obviously every year, but
Uh-huh.
the goal will be try and get my regional time to
Yeah.
get into that race and just hopefully get as close to a qualifier for nationals as I can.
What's the regional time for or the national qualifying time for 800? Do you know yet or no?
So for the European Games, it's 146.5 for the under
Okay.
23s. But in the NCAA, they take, I want to say it's the top 48 in each region, so the West and the Easts. And last year, I think if you ran like a 148.9, give or take a few milliseconds or something, you got through to regionals.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then at regionals, there's all in place who can make nationals if you can
Okay.
go through the heats and get into the top 12 or something like
Mhm.
that.
And then at the places that you've ran so far this year, I know it's only been a short sample. We're kind of in the midway point of your season, but where's the favorite place you've run at?
Notre Dame was a nice campus,
I've heard
and
Notre Dame's really nice.
they have a nice indoor track. It's about 320 meters long, so it's pretty close to an outdoor track, but you're still inside with every condition's good. There's no
Uh-huh.
wind, there's no rain,
Yeah.
so it's pretty fast.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think everywhere I've been is nice. Iowa State and Iowa University, is that
Yeah,
the
University of
yellow
Iowa.
one?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, they were cool, but I've not been to one that I didn't like.
Okay, all right. And then what is the atmosphere like on an inside track? Because obviously, outdoor people are yelling, but it's not as like, you're not under a roof, so it's
Yeah.
not as loud. What is it like? Because I would assume it gets pretty loud and rowdy in those. Does that help you, I would say, like run faster? Or does it kind of like does it not mess with you at all?
Yeah, I always think when I'm running, I hear nothing. There could be a million people shouting, and you just don't hear a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at Notre Dame, the first time I was there this indoor season, it was very busy, and everyone was in the infield
Mm-hmm.
along each back straight corner, shouting, screaming. You can just see them in the corner of your eyes. It definitely gives you a good boost, especially when you've got like 20 Bradley jumpers. You can
Yeah,
see them all. It's
yeah,
like, let's try and run fast, Bradley proud.
yeah, yeah. So you have a twin brother.
That's correct.
Does having a brother who runs too, does that kind of help you if you'll have everyone has days where they don't want to go out and train, but
Yeah.
does having him help you?
Yeah, definitely my twin brother's been my biggest competitor for full life. Like, even when we aren't running, it's like,
Yeah, you're
who
old.
can get dinner the fastest, who can get to the car the fastest. But
Yeah.
when it comes to running, it's like, he wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I want to go at 7:59, or
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get an extra mile. And it's always, we're always competing,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
like comparing our runs and, oh, I done it better, or I done it better. It's just,
Yeah,
everything's a competition. It's just,
yeah.
which is good. And if I run bad, he'll tell me straight away. Or
Yeah,
if I run good, he'd be like, I could run a world record. He'd be like, that was all right. That's what if he says, that's okay. That's
yeah.
a good run.
So who's older?
I'm 5 minutes older.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
my girlfriend and then I have some cousins too who are also twins. I think my girlfriend is a minute older. It's
Yeah.
the twin thing is a crazy thing, but did he start running? Like, did you guys start running together? Or has running been a thing like kind of your family that your parents and everyone has done, or did you guys kind of?
I think mum, my dad, my twin brother, and me, we all probably all started running within the space of 2 years. I think me and my brother both started when we were 7, and
Hmm.
my dad was maybe a few years before, and we kind of all started running. But me and my brother started running at the exact same time, and it's just been ever since then. We just keep running.
So your dad kind of was he like your like coach or just
I wouldn't say he was my coach. Maybe like he got me into running. I seen he was running. I was like, I'll give that a try. And my mum and my dad both ran, not in high school or not in college or
just
anything.
they
Just
ran around for
started
fun?
later in life,
Yeah.
and they got pretty good at it. Just and got really into it. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess the local running club where I am, we
Mhm.
don't really have a high school system, so we go through a club.
Yeah.
And when I was like 7, and they invited more spaces into the club, and me and my brother went, and just every Monday, Wednesday since then we went.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you enjoy like about running? Because most people usually hate running.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do instead of cardio. I know, especially for me, uh, it's easier for me to do cardio when I'm doing sports. So what makes running enjoyable for you? Because a lot of people, and I'm not saying like running isn't hard. Just what makes it enjoyable? Because a lot of people don't like doing it at all. So what do you enjoy about it?
The social aspect is definitely a good thing. Like
Yeah.
going out a run on a Sunday morning with all your friends, just talking about the previous week or talking about what's coming up. It's like, I don't know, some people sit in Xbox and have a laugh and play with
Mhm.
their friends. I like going outside, talking to my friends, but the biggest thing why I like running, I think, is when you cross the finish line, you've won. You've beat everyone, and that's a good feeling. You've got the fastest time you've ever ran.
Yeah.
It feels good. But also like the moments where you run rubbish, and you're like, I've just run 10 seconds slower than last week. You feel like rubbish.
Yeah.
But that just makes the times where you run well feel even better.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is good. This is fun.
Yeah. And then you kind of told you what got you in, but what is different in the running system here compared to Scotland besides, the Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was a big adjustment for you when you got here.
I've always worked in miles. So
Oh,
I was
really?
never a kilometers person anyway. So that
Really?
made it easier. But the system's a lot different. So a lot of the Americans will go through the high school system and compete for their high school, but we're all through club based stuff. So we'll have like my club was Monday, Wednesday, and I would train 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at
Okay.
night. So after school's finished, do your homework, whatever, but the track was nothing to do with school.
Okay.
You compete for the club, nothing goes for the school.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't have like high school. High school was like, oh, I want to go a D1 athlete. We have nothing like that. We don't have scholarships at like
Yeah.
big universities. We just go to school, we join a club, and it's a bonus if you can run.
Yeah.
But out here, it's like
You can get your
can-
whole school covered.
yeah, you come out here, you can get full school covered, so you can run. Like things can go around running. You get time slots during the day, but no classes now because you can run.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot more focus out here on like they care about running a lot more.
Yeah, and it's like right, it's like your whole day. I mean, that's what your life is.
Yeah,
You kind of revolve on your running schedule. You were telling me you ran earlier, and then after your classes, you're gonna go to the hot tub. Like you're preparing your body.
yeah,
So it's a job basically.
yeah. It definitely makes studying harder. Trying to find some hours to
Yeah.
study. Like there's some times like I need to go and do a speech or write
Mm-hmm.
calculus homework but I've just finished a hour run, stretched for like half an hour. The last thing I want to do is open my laptop and study.
Yeah,
But it's things just you have to do it, and once it's finished, it feels good. But
exactly.
it's a grind some days.
That's called in our Com 103 class when the guy who was presenting procrastination.
Yeah, that's for sure.
In America, your senior year, I don't know if what if they have this in Scotland, but here in your senior year of high school, it's called senioritis, where you just don't. You're a senior in high school, and you're committed to a college, so you're basically you don't care, so you just procrastinate. You don't do your work,
Yeah.
or you do it like half-assing, sort of. So it's a whole kind of thing. And I was an athlete in high school, and I definitely can hear what you're saying
Yeah.
because I would get home from games sometimes at like 8, 9 o'clock, and then I would have to do homework. So it's just you don't want to do that. You don't want to waste your night. You know what I mean? You just want to
Yeah.
go to bed. But
Exactly.
and then what's been your favorite part about America? Whether that's been the running, because it's obviously it's different than Scotland. So
One of the best parts is like living with my roommate and
Mhm.
like I was like when I first came across, I was like living with some random guy I've never met before every
Yeah.
single night is gonna be weird.
yeah,
Like sleeping, I can probably touch him if I get my arm out.
yeah,
It's so close. I thought I'd hate it,
yeah.
but actually, like now that he becomes like your best friend, you like
He walks around, goes with you a
yeah,
lot.
you're there together all the time. Like you get to know the guy so well, and like
Uh-huh.
he's an athlete as well, so we're running together, living together. It's like we're near enough brothers, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's really been. I like that part, getting to
Uh-huh.
know a lot of people, coming really close, and just also doing just random stuff. Like last semester, we went skydiving one day because
You went wait, out of a plane or like
yeah, so we were driving to a race. Some guy says, "Oh, we should go skydiving." And a group of guys like, "Okay, let's do it," and they ended up just booking it and paying for it, and then we all went skydiving some random weekend.
how was that?
I never thought I was injured at the time. Wasn't running. Like
Did you you jumped out of the
so
plane though?
we drove 2.5 hours
Jeez.
to the suburbs of Chicago, and just literally put a suit on. Went. It just felt like we put a suit on. They said, "Right, we're ready." They went up. Don't know how high in a plane, and we jump out, and that was it. It was a weird day.
Did you go out of you jumped
Yeah,
too?
I jumped.
That's crazy. I don't think I'm afraid of heights, but just because right there is how do you it's like you jump out and you're not initially on a parachute, so you're just falling, right?
We were like 60 seconds just falling.
That's
Like,
yeah, that would mess me
I've
up.
never felt any of that feeling. Like, it's just, I've never felt anything like that
Was it a good
complete.
feeling or like a
It goes so fast, you're like, you don't understand what just happened. It's
Mhm.
like, and you actually sitting, when I landed, I was sitting thinking about it. I'm like, so why did I do that? Why did I just quit
Yeah.
a plane? What was the point? But it was still cool. It was fun.
Yeah, so once in a usually not many people go skydiving, like,
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go skydive, I'm bored." That's not usually what
exactly.
we do. Um, and I've also heard you have dinner with some of your track teammates, families?
Yep. So the big track family will meet in Guys at Hall at 5 p.m. near enough
Yep,
every single night.
family dinner.
And we'll try and get, we've got a big row. They have guys at rows. And if we can try and take up at least 3 quarters of it, it's a good night.
Yeah, so the track team, it's obviously an individual sport for the most part. But you guys, you think here build a very good kind of team bond, close with each other?
Yeah, we're all super close. We're all good mates. Like, it's an individual sport, but it's not an individual sport when you're waking up at 6 a.m. and having to go and run by yourself. You don't want to run by yourself. So
Yeah.
having guys your team, you can, if you're running hard, but like you just you just have random chats. Like,
Yeah.
it makes them hard mornings just going quicker because you're like, take your foot off the running. You just,
Mhm.
you're getting the work done, but it just seems a little bit easier with a big group of quality
Yeah,
guys.
and we talked about this earlier, like too, with your brother. It's like having someone there to motivate you.
Yeah.
Like, I would assume you always ran with your brother.
Yeah.
Now you're here and you have all of these people to run with, and there's gonna be obviously there's days, especially here, where like you're not at your home, so you're not gonna get the best sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
There's gonna be nights where you're gonna get a few hours of sleep and you're gonna have to go out and run.
Yeah, there's for sure times like my alarms went off at 5:10 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't want to go, but I look beside me and Matthew's getting up. I
Yeah.
have to go now. Like,
Yeah. You don't want
I
to be
can't-
that guy.
yeah, I don't want to not show up. So, and then you're running and your friends are like running hard, and you're like, I don't want to go, but like these guys are also D1 athletes. They're good, so like you want to be good as well. You have to go. You have to
Mhm.
just what they're doing. You either match it or try and go better. You don't want to fall behind. So
Yeah.
it's a good level of competition. Like, we're all trying to help each other to make ourselves better.
Yeah, I get that. And I gotta ask, America, we're known for our disgusting food.
Yeah.
What do you think of? Have you had any like kind of the food, like the yucky food here? I know I would assume, you're a D1, you don't eat too much garbage, but
I like to treat myself to some chicken and waffles.
yeah.
I've had
Have
that.
you had that at One World?
That's the spot to go if you want chicken and waffles in Peoria, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you had crumble or insomnia cookies?
I'm not too impressed. I've had both.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have. Do you know the Costco cookies where it's like it comes in massive?
Yeah,
tray?
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're the best cookies I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have Costco in Scotland?
I've never been to one before coming here. They do have some, but it's not very popular.
What's like a popular, like kind of something that's in Scotland in here, and what's the difference?
But we have in Scotland and America have.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the same. We have fast food chains like
Yeah, McDonald's.
we have McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC, and Taco Bell. I think is the most. But I remember I was going to run just outside Peoria, and I was running along a street. There was like some just fast food chains. It was like 100 just lined up. There was from Long John Silver's to McDonald's to like. If you were hungry, there's probably 100 different options. That's in Scotland. It's not quite like that. They have the fast food chains, but
it's not as
they're not as populated.
Mm-hmm. And then my final question. What has been your favorite memory so far? Either running, like, or just with your teammates in Peoria, or with Bradley, and if you want to do you can do running and just personal. I'm totally okay with that too.
Yeah, there's been so many memories.
Mm-hmm. And you're not even a year done.
Yeah, so I'm like a semester and a half in.
Yeah.
Skydiving was definitely a big thing.
That's crazy that you
I'll always remember the skydiving day. But probably the first track meet I went to.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first semester here. Basically, from getting off the plane first in America, my knee was sore, I couldn't run, so I never got to know the guys well
Yeah.
on runs and stuff. Obviously, I was hanging around with them when they went running, but that first track meet, I was going, got all my Bradley gear on, and like we were
Yeah.
on the bus. It felt cool. I was like, that's why I'm here, to go and race.
Yeah.
And going with the team. And just like, yeah, that's why people want to come here. Just I realized it's pretty fun. It's good to this team is it's nice. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, but it's
I
really
get
good.
it. It's you're like so close to them, but it's hard to like kind of like you love hanging out with them and stuff, but it's hard to describe how to
Yeah.
put into words because you're always with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just that first track meet was good. And then it's just that's the main my best moment probably.
I mean, you also have friends from all across the world now.
Yeah.
Like it's not just people from Scotland. You have people from here. What Ireland, Canada, England, South Africa.
Africa, like
Is that?
Italy, Spain.
Oh yeah, Spain.
We've got
Norway?
lots. Norway, I've got
Yeah.
from Norway as well. Yeah, so we've got them everywhere.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. What I know I said that was the last question, but I kind of keep on, getting questions as we keep on talking. What was it like? Because we brought up South Africa. I saw you went there. Oh, was it over winter break?
Yeah.
What was it like? What's it like training in South Africa? Because I've seen on your Instagram you've trained in a lot of different countries, right?
Yeah, running has definitely made me travel and get different countries, but training in places like I went South Africa and Kenya, so they're both they're a lot different, but just training in that heat. It's also both are located at like an altitudes,
Mm-hmm.
similar to like places like Boulder or like Flagstaff and stuff. These
Yeah,
places,
because there are mountains in
Yeah.
Africa, so
so
yeah.
they're very high up. It just makes running that just a little bit harder. So there's people at home running at sea level, but you can do the exact same thing and just have a little bit more benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder on the body. Like you've got less oxygen, so you're working a little bit harder. So training out there so I was out there for 4 weeks.
Wow, yeah.
Over winter break. So I was in Scotland for 2 days, but I flew straight there and came back to America. So I was away that full time and just getting to run up at the altitudes and then coming back, and it just feels good running. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
especially having that little injury from last season, I needed something to like
Get
try
your
and give me a little bit more motivation, like,
yeah,
more confidence.
yeah, and how was it? The weather there, was it pretty warm? Like most of the days you were
Yeah,
there
so
too.
pushing 100 Fahrenheit every day.
Wow.
Um,
And it's not really humid there, right? Like it's
it's
just
not
hot.
humid at all, really.
Here you'll see later in the summer, it gets hot and humid.
Yeah.
So that's the worst part.
I remember the first day I was in America, I was walking to class.
Oh god.
Inside I'm fine, and I walk out and my hands are just wet straight away.
Exactly.
And then I go back inside and they're dry.
Yeah.
And me and my roommate are like, "What is this?"
Yeah, that's America for you.
Yeah, it's so weird getting used to, but I guess I'd probably rather have that than this snow, ice, and cold.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
if I can come back, it'd be nice.
But thank you for taking time out of your day to come do this podcast. I hope you had a blast.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
Not at all. I think we've covered most things. And
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, that's a wrap for this week on the Sports Syllabus Show. Thanks for tuning in and joining the conversation. Don't forget to follow and subscribe and share the show with your friends. Got a hot take or a question? Hit us up on Instagram. Until next time, stay hyped, stay active, and we'll see you back here for your next dose of the Sports Syllabus Show. Take care.
Thanks, John.